Okay, mic check, mic check. All right, YouTube is good to go. I'm just setting up Facebook shortly. Okay,
Mic
mic check,
check.
mic
One,
check.
two, 1, 2.
All right, YouTube is good to go. I'm just setting up Facebook shortly.
Mic check.
Content. Okay, here we go.
Oh shit. Today is the Europa Cup final. Am I
Is it
mistaken?
your cup final? Really interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
I could be mistaken. Let me check real quick before we get
I feel
started
like I
here.
usually have notifications for those. Like nothing's popped up on any of my time feed.
Yeah, they're playing right now. Europa League. Sevilla 0, Roma 0.
Who is it? Sevilla and Roma, two
Yeah, Europa.
Italian teams. Okay, okay. That's probably
Well,
why. Uh,
Sevilla is Roma is Italian.
Sevilla is Spanish.
Sevilla is Spanish. They
Okay,
are the
got you, got you,
they're the
got you.
incumbent.
It's been a while since I've watched La Liga and all that stuff, so I'm a little bit rusty.
I believe Sevilla is they are the incumbents. Like they're basically the Real Madrid of Europa League. But Roma is being coached by Jose Mourinho, so they have
Copy
a
that.
good. See, that's how you know I take this seriously because
It's been a while, my brother. It's been a while.
the old me would just put it on the TV in the background and talk to you and easily get distracted. No, I take
Yeah.
this.
No, no, no. It's okay. All right. I think I have all my traps out now. Okay. One, two, three, four, five. Let's bring this in a little bit. Ah, that's perfect. Okay. There we go. I think the issue right now, I'm just trying to like just put all the chats out perfectly.
So let's say I go on your YouTube, will I be able to see all the chats?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not gonna worry. I just need to be able to see it so I can communicate with everyone.
Okay.
All right. One, two, three, four, five. Okay. All right. Let me close that. One more minute and I should be ready to go. I'm just
Cool,
adding in
cool,
thumbnails.
cool beans, cool beans. A little more comfortable. Hey Google, turn on the living room air conditioner.
Sure, turning on the living room.
Google has your back, bro.
Yeah, but Alexa usually covers me better.
What's up, MG Gaming? Welcome back. Good to see you, man. What's up? Okay. And that's the final thumbnail, right? Okay. And I'm going to put your name, Abu, in it. And now I got all my thumbnails. I love it. MG Gaming, I'm doing pretty good, man. It's been a while since we had a stream, and now me and Abu are here, which is my guest, right? As you can see, we're here, we're live, we're ready to electrify the streaming waves like no other. We're ready to talk all and everything about dating. We have quite a few topics for today. Should be fun. Should be super, super excited. All right, so I'm gonna pull this down. I'm gonna pull the topics up. All right, first off, my name is Creg, the Rock, the people streamer, the great one, the most electrifying man in streaming and entertainment. Okay, and I want to introduce you to my boy Abu. He's our special guest for today. Abu, how about start off with your name, your age, and your relationship status.
Hey guys, so my name is Abu. I'm 30 years old and I'm currently married.
Okay, okay, okay. How long have you been married for?
Coming up on 2 years now.
2 years. Wow, that's freaking awesome. Congratulations, man.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
How long did you guys date before you became married?
We dated for about 3.5 years, almost four, and then we've been married for the past almost 2 years. So altogether, we're coming up around 6 years.
Wow, that's freaking awesome. Real quick, what was the huge defining factor where you were like, you know what, this is someone I really want to get married to? What was the biggest thing?
So I think the biggest thing for me was the fact that she let me lead. I knew I was
Mm,
the leader in the relationship and that she had my back.
okay,
So she said, "You take charge, and I have your back." I mean, there were other things in there that
okay,
to ultimately choose her, but that was the biggest thing, the fact that she let me lead.
okay. MG Gaming just wants you to know that he's all the way from Algeria. All right, so
Ooh, my accent
yeah,
is perfect.
yeah, and we're in New York City too, so that's pretty freaking dope, man. That's freaking dope.
What?
Okay, so
A good
quick,
5 hour difference?
yeah, yeah, at least. MG Gaming, what time is it where you are right now, if you don't mind to ask? And also, Abu, you said the fact that she let you lead. Do you feel like other women that you've dated in the past did not want you to lead or did not allow you to lead?
Neither. I until I met her, I hadn't found a woman I had seriously considered dating for marriage, anyways.
Okay.
So even if those qualities were there in others, it's not something that I inherently noticed right away.
Mm-hmm.
But with her, for whatever reason, it just clicked almost immediately.
Okay. I see. What made her wifey material?
Well, that I mean, there's other factors. Obviously, there was attraction there.
Okay.
Uh, and I just knew that she really, really loved me. Like there was no
Mm,
guessing. That's one thing guys tend to overanalyze, especially when they really like a girl.
okay.
They just wonder and ponder about whether or not the girl really feels the same way about them,
Mm-hmm.
what what the status of the relationship is, this, that, and the third. And with her, I never had to wonder. I always knew, okay, this girl is truly in love with me. She what I see is what I get.
I see. I see. I see. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that, my brother. All
That
right. So we're gonna go into a few of our topics today. Do you want to start us off with our first one?
it's your show. I'll let you introduce the topics.
The People's Show.
Hey,
Okay. All right. I actually have one that's not on our list yet. So let me ask you this real quick.
okay,
Do you keep your options open in the talking stage?
absolutely,
Why?
absolutely. It's open because you're talking. There's no commitment there. There's no definitive relationship established at that point.
Yes.
So you'd be a fool not to keep your options open. If she's a high quality woman, you bet your ass she has her options open. So why should you limit yourself?
Agreed. Agreed. So, number one, first off, Jamie! What up, baby? Jamie, welcome back. Good to see you. It's always a great fucking pleasure. How's the baby? My man. So yes, Abu, first off, I 100% agree with you. Okay, let me ask you this. Is there objective definition of talking stage? Because I feel like depending on who it is, it's very subjective. Because to some people, talking could be like we're fucking, but we haven't put a definition on our relationship. Because to me, talking is like we haven't done anything physical yet. Matter of
Right.
fact, maybe we've been on one date, but there's nothing committal about what we've done. So to me, that's talking. So what is talking to you?
Well, I agree with you in that sense. There's different stages to talking. So the stage you're talking about obviously would be the very beginning stages of talking. A more advanced step would be maybe you guys have gone on a few dates, maybe you guys have slept with each other a couple of times, but you guys aren't I would you wouldn't consider yourself boyfriend and girlfriend. Like
Hmm.
maybe you guys see each other once a week, maybe communicate like once every week or twice every week. You know, that's not you haven't established a relationship yet. So
Agreed.
you are still talking.
Hmm.
Um, and the way you get out of the talking stage is, in my opinion, the woman saying the big question, the big words that all of us OG players hate to hear. What are we? What is this? What's going on? So
Yes.
that's a woman's that's their inherent nature. So whenever a woman wants to, get more clarity on the situation,
Hmm.
best believe that she's ready for a relationship. So when you hear those words, it's game's over, Playboy.
That is
Is
true.
either you shit or get off the pot, you know?
I agree. I 100% agree.
If you want to stay, talking and not really put a label on it, you have to make that clear at that point. You
Hmm.
can't date dally, you can't waste time, you can't make her believe that okay, there's a possibility down the road that he's going to change his mind. You have to be clear and say, hey, listen, this is fun, but I don't really want to pursue anything serious. Let's just continue what we're doing right now, right? That would be the approach if you just want to keep fucking, right?
Okay.
Now, obviously, if you like her and you want to pursue a relationship,
Yeah.
the way you should approach this man is ask for clarity.
Okay.
Never just assume she wants
Are
to
you talking
be
about defining the relationship?
right, right. When you get the question of, hey, what are we, or what is this,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
You don't want the relationship. If you don't want to be with her, you tell her exactly what it is. You say, hey, listen, I just want to keep having fun. I don't want to, rush anything. I don't want to put labels on anything. I'm not looking for a girlfriend right now. Stuff
Agreed.
around those lines, right?
Agreed.
If you do want the relationship, very important, ask her to clarify what she means,
Oh,
right?
I 100% agree. I think you should define it even. You should ask them what they're looking for even way before you go on the first date, right? Real quick, let me say hi to Miyeyo, 079. What's up, baby? Thanks for coming to the channel. Glad to have you. What's up? Um, back to you, Abu. So to put simple, the question is, do you keep your options open in the talking stage? You said yes, and it's because it's just the talking stage. It's nothing personal. It's nothing that you need to define. It's, hey, I am simply exploring my options. Am I correct?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay.
Um, as the man, it is not your job to manage the relationship.
Uh
It's the
huh.
woman's. If she wants a relationship, she'll let you know. If she doesn't make it clear to you that she wants a relationship, you are not bound to any rules or restrictions.
Okay. All right. Thanks for sharing that. Ghost, aka Miyeyo, you definitely changed your username, so I don't recognize this one, but I'm sure if you tell me your old one, I will definitely most likely remember. Because especially if you hang out in the chat a lot, I'll most likely remember. All right, another question, Abu. Um, do you trust your woman, your wife, around other men?
Absolutely, you
Okay.
have to. So we are all aware of the type of woman we have, right?
Hold on,
If you
hold on.
have
Before we go into that, I have it's kind of like a three-part question. My
okay,
apology.
okay.
All right, so let's start over. Um, do you trust your woman around other men?
Yes,
Okay. Do you trust other men around your woman?
no,
So, if you don't trust other men around your woman, how do you expect like a man to trust their woman?
because and stick with me here because a lot of men don't understand this concept. Men, we do not need love. We don't need love. What we need is respect. That is what we
Hallelujah,
need.
my brother. Hallelujah. Keep going.
No. So if I choose you to be my woman, right?
Yes.
Best believe that. I mean, we're all adults. We
Mm-hmm.
we know that you'll find other men attractive. We know that you might fantasize about another guy, but if your respect is high enough for me, you are going to know that okay, hey, if I talk to this guy, if I entertain this guy, and my man finds out, I am putting my relationship in extreme jeopardy. So I'm not gonna fuck around and do that. You know, that's what a woman has to be beholden to. That's the standard that you have to set. You have to let her know that hey, listen, I'm not controlling, I'm not the jealous type, but if you fuck around on me, I'm leaving you in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I don't care if we have fucking 4 kids. I don't care if we've been together for 10 years. It's not no. Oh, I made a mistake and no. One strike, you're out. Because once a woman entertains other men and actively allows other men to pursue her, she has lost respect for you. And when she has lost respect for you, the relationship is effectively over. It's about respect.
Yep,
Now,
I agree.
I can't hold other men to my standards, because my standards are, if she's married or if she's talking to someone or if she's in a relationship, she's off the market. No matter how attractive she is, I
Yeah,
will not pursue that woman. But that's me.
yeah.
I know there are a lot of men out there that are not at the place I'm at, and if they see a good-looking girl,
Hmm.
they don't fucking know me. They're
Can
gonna
I
shoot.
can I talk to you about the market for a second? Because you said that. Okay, you
Yeah,
said that when if she's married or she's taken, you're not gonna mess with that, right? You're gonna respect the relationship. Now, I've heard people said this. Hey, if she is married or in a relationship, you're only competing in a market with one dude. Other than when she's single and she has tons of options, you're competing with a higher number of men. So
right.
when it comes to competition, wouldn't it make sense to compete against one person versus 5, 10 different potential matches?
All right, let me give you an analogy. Would you rather play a 5-on-5 with you and your friends against some regular average, high school players, or would you rather play one-on-one against LeBron James? You pick. The man won. He won the girl, right? That's his girl.
Am
Like,
I going to win against LeBron James? No. But would I
yeah,
want to
might
play?
hit the back three. He might take off on defense, and you're able to get a reverse layup or something. I don't fucking know, but it's gonna be hard to score. Now that's where the respect comes in, because if that woman respects her man, like I said, she's not entertaining that.
So if she doesn't entertain me at all, if she says no, 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 then you know she's a real one.
Yeah, I mean, she doesn't have to say no, no, no specifically. I mean, most girls don't want to just shoot guys down and hurt their feelings.
Okay.
Most girls laugh it off and say, "Oh no, I'm talking to someone or I have someone," and they're a little cutesy with it, and
Hmm.
that gives me the impression that, oh, they're just playing hard to get. But
I see.
ultimately, she's firm and she doesn't give you any play,
Hmm.
then she's for real. I mean, I can't, like I said, I can't hold other men to my standards, but it's all on the girl. She has to respect the relationship and honor you even when you're not in her presence.
Okay. I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. So going into the first topic of the day, right? We're going to be talking about modern day women and traditional men, right? So, what is your definition of a modern day woman?
Modern day woman would be someone who's highly educated, highly successful, um, and quite frankly, doesn't need a man to sustain her.
That kind of sounds attractive. Am I incorrect?
Oh,
Highly
definitely.
educated. So, repeat that. Repeat it. The factors again one more time. She.
Highly educated,
Yeah.
highly successful, and doesn't need a man to sustain her.
Okay. So one more time. Highly educated, highly successful, and doesn't need a man. Right. So
So to
to some
sustain,
people, that seems like very, very good attractive traits. Well, she's educated. You can have great conversations with her. Educated, logic conversations with her. She's successful, so she doesn't necessarily need your money whatsoever, which is great because now you have a two-income household, right? And number three, she doesn't necessarily need a man, where she's not 100% counting on you. So if you guys come together, you guys are now a team, right? But with one leader still. So isn't that usually good traits when it comes to modern day women?
when you say one leader still, is that under the assumption that she's dealing with a traditional man, or is she dealing with a modern day
Well,
man?
when I say come together as a team, right? First of all, every team has a captain,
Correct,
right?
correct, correct.
So it's usually, and some teams have multiple, but it depends on what. Like if there's offense and defense, that means they have one captain for each, right?
Right.
One leader. It's kind of like a car. You don't see a car with two steering wheels. You see it with one, because if it has two steering wheels and both people are trying to go in different directions, you're more likely to have an accident. So that's what I mean by a captain, a leader.
Well, yeah, I get what you're saying, but I bring that up because your topic was modern day
Yes.
women slash traditional men,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to get to be clear on that. So what's your question?
Um, I guess we didn't have a question because it was just more of a statement. Chat, my apology. I'm going to review these questions a lot more better. All right, let me skip to the second one. How long should sex last and why?
Sex should last as long as it needs to last. There's no set time. Um, I mean, for us, for men, sex ends when you orgasm, right? When
Mm-hmm.
you bust, you're done, right? But for the woman, obviously, all women are different. Some take longer, some take not as long. But it should last as long as it needs to for both people to be satisfied. So
So
that means
when you hit orgasm, that's when it ends. Am I correct?
when both of you can orgasm, that's when it ends. Not you, not the man, because it doesn't take much for the man to orgasm. It takes a lot for the woman to orgasm. You
Okay.
know, there are ways to expedite that. Obviously, if a woman is like highly physically attracted to you,
Mm-hmm.
uh, she'll get there quicker. If a woman is highly intellectually attracted to you, she'll get there quicker. It's the
Okay.
same thing for men, you know. We know this. Like if you sleep with a girl that you're really into for the first time,
Mm-hmm.
you don't last that long, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
if you're meeting your weekly, you know, fuck buddy, you know, that sex probably lasts a long time because you're not as excited. You've fallen into a routine, you know. It's not that easy for you to get it up and get over that hump. But
Okay.
if it's someone new, you know, if it's someone you're highly attracted to,
Yeah.
it's you're gonna get there quick. You know, she might get there quick. You know, in my past, you know, I've dealt with women where they, you know, climax while I was, you know, still sucking on their nipples, like I haven't even touched them yet.
Okay.
They're having full blown
Yeah,
orgasms.
that's a huge turnout for a lot of people. I've been there before. I know what you mean.
Yeah, so like that tells you that once she's like super duper, you know, sexually attracted to you, like physical attraction, it works both ways.
Mm-hmm.
Same way we look at women like eye candy, best believe women look at us like eye candy. Women are just more
Right.
slick. They'll check you out when you least expect it, but they'll check you out. Like don't get it twisted. So to answer your question, it should last as long as it needs to in order for both people to climax.
Okay. Okay. Do you feel society puts standards on when and how long sex should last?
Society as a whole, no. I believe, you know what? It's subjective. I think yes and no.
What
Uh,
about social media, such as porn, such as
right.
TV shows like rom coms and all that stuff, where they're like, "Oh my God, we
So
made
first,
love for a
first
whole hour. It was amazing." Ah.
so first of all, any guys in the chat or any woman in the chat
Mhm.
who watch porn regularly, I would advise you to stop. It's not good for you. It's not good for your brain. And it's not realistic.
Why
No
do you think
realistic.
that is? Why is it
Well,
not good for you?
it's drawn out. You have guys lasting 25 minutes, 30 minutes, which is not realistic at all. You have these women who are screaming at the top of their lungs, showing that they're having extreme pleasure when
Yeah.
it's like it's not real. Just take some time to do research and you know watch interviews from porn stars. They'll tell you that that shit's not real.
It's fake.
And
It's an act.
it's an act, and
Yes.
it's setting a bad precedent. It's making especially younger people have
It's making you
expectations.
think that's how they're supposed to be in bed, and if they're not like
And
that, you're fucking it up. You're not doing something right.
you're not doing it right. And I've fallen into this trap when I was younger. You know, I tried to have sex with girls in my teens and in my early 20s the way I would see it in porn, but it's not until I started to like become more experienced with women that I understood that, oh, that shit's bullshit. Like none of that
Yes.
actually works. Like I've watched interviews where porn stars would say, yeah, we shot for 5 hours. I did 6 different scenes. And I went home and I just still needed to have sex because I wasn't sexually satisfied.
That's fair.
And then you go, whoa, you had all these dicks in you, and
Yeah.
that wasn't sexually fulfilling because, like you said, it's an act. It's not real.
Yeah.
It's meant to look good for a camera. It's not meant to be pleasurable or enjoyable.
I understand. What's up, MD? How you doing today? Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I appreciate it. All right. Good point. Very, very good point. Listen, I do agree that you become conditioned based on the things you view, especially when it comes to porn, right?
Sure.
I do believe you become conditioned in the sense that, oh, this is how my dick is supposed to look. This is how her body is supposed to look. Like, man, she's always supposed to have big ass titties, slim body, fat. Like, that's not everyone.
So I disagree with you there because that's those are physical traits, right? Those are things that cause attraction. Those aren't things that are necessary for sex, right? Because you're gonna know before you sleep with her if she has a fat ass or she has big titties, or if she has a nice figure.
Do you not think that conditions you to be attracted to only those type of people?
Yes and no, because if you are initially, you'll quickly find out that no, but not everyone's like that. Like when you're younger and you're less experienced, yeah. But once you're in your mid 20s, late 20s, and you get into your 30s, you'll be more realistic about sex, and you'll know that okay, not every girl's gonna look like this naked.
Agreed. I 100% agree. Also, like, 1 out of 3 men are sexless, so not everyone is really having a lot of sex, especially in their 20s.
Wow, I did not know that. Is that by choice or is that
It's
because of
most
that?
men hit their sexual peak around in their 30s and all that stuff. Because other than Abu, I'm very aware of our situation, but that's only because we put ourselves into those situations where we're constantly learning how to flirt, learning how to get better, and all that stuff. The average man, no. The average man is not getting laid that often. The average man is not getting as many dates as possible. Compare an average man to an average woman, especially when it comes to dating app. Let's just say a girl who's a 5 versus a guy who's a 5. A girl who's a 5 can get maybe 100 to 200 matches on a dating app. A guy who's a 5, he'd be lucky if he gets like 5 or 10. So
Yeah, if you ugly, it's not fun.
so you see what I'm saying? So I'm like, and remember, who controls sex? Who controls access to sex?
The woman controls access to
Women
sex.
does. So she says yes or no to whoever she wants to have sex with. We have to work up, build up ourselves in order to be able to have access to all of that stuff.
You have to court, yeah.
Do
So
you think if you had absolutely no game whatsoever, you just went straight off your looks, you'll be able to just close as many people as possible?
fuck no. Hell no. Because while I agree with you about, the fact that if a guy's a 5, he doesn't have that many options. It's even worse when you don't have any game. Because I've seen very attractive men in the work field. Uh, Pause. I've seen men that women are attracted to,
I know what you meant.
and being to be very attractive. But as soon as they have one conversation with him, they're like, oh my god, like he's cute to look at, but I just need him to shut the fuck up. Like I would take him home, but I would have to like muzzle him, and then when we're done, he needs to get the fuck out immediately.
Mm,
Goes back to what I was saying before. Women are, attracted to looks as well. It's not just a man thing.
yeah.
Like if you're very attractive, women are gonna want you. Like it's just human nature. That's how we're designed.
Yes.
But in the same breath, it's gonna be like for us, if you find a very attractive girl, but she's fucking annoying, like you still might want to fuck her, but
Mhm.
as soon as you get your nut, you might even care about her nut. You're trying to get the fuck out. Like, okay, this has been fun. I hope to see you soon. Maybe, maybe not. But
Yep.
you're out. You won the prize. So it's the same with women. It doesn't. You
Also,
need
you
game.
gotta factor in post nut clarity too. It's like maybe she
Women-
was already annoying before, but you wanted to fuck so badly it completely blinded you. And now that you come, you're like, wait a minute, how did I miss all these red flags? How did I miss how fucking annoying she was? So
We could have a whole podcast on post clarity.
maybe that's gonna be our next show. Post nut clarity.
Yeah, it's has to be because yeah, it's real. It's fucking real.
Okay. Good point. Good point.
I think that's a great segue into our next topic, though.
Yeah. All right. So moving into the next question. Fucking New York City, man.
Beeping at you, bro?
No, I'm upstairs. Then. Oh Lord, New York City. Okay. Is a man sleeping with 100 women the same as a man sleeping with? Wait, what? No. Let me rephrase. Wait. Okay. Is a man? I know.
I think what you
I think we already know the answer to that one.
Is a man sleeping with 100 women the same as a woman sleeping with 100 men?
Okay, one more time just for the audience. Go.
Okay, I believe what you were trying to say
Hmm.
is a man sleeping with 100 women the same as if a woman were to sleep with 100 men?
Okay, I'm gonna go first on this one.
Was that was the question, though, right?
Yes, that's a question. I'm gonna say no, and it all goes back to once again the level of difficulty. Who has access?
That's
Again,
access.
women control access to sex, right? You are the gatekeeper. You decide. You're the security guard. You basically decide who comes into the club and who does not, right?
Mhm.
So you can be the type of security guard who's like, you know what, fuck it, everybody gets in. Come on, guys. So you're doing everything you can to fill up that club, right?
Yep. Hmm.
Or you can be the security guard who's like, you know what? Only VIPs, only special, exclusive people can come up into this club. Okay? So then you're like, you know what? I'm going to save this for a man who I could see as a potential boyfriend or a man who could eventually grow into a husband, right? These are people you're like, you let through. So, but when it comes to like a man and sex, first of all, it's I think the way how men look at sex is kind of like when you're looking for parking, right? You're driving around 11 o'clock in the night. At this point, you just want to park your car anywhere, right? You're not selective very very much whatsoever. You're like, oh, there's a parking spot. I'm gonna go there, right? With us, it's like you have to build yourself up tremendously, right?
Well,
You have to get game.
what would you say to the women who have the same, thought pattern of, hey, it's 11 o'clock at night, I'm just looking for a parking spot. Why should men only have that option, but women can't?
I think it's based on what you're looking for. Okay,
Like in
if
the
you're
person that you're trying
if
to date or the person that you're trying to sleep with?
no, okay. Well, I mean, let's just okay. Here's what I mean. It's based on what you're looking for. If you're just looking for sex, that's totally
Okay.
fine. If you want to be presumptuous, not what's that? That's not the word. Promiscuous. If you want to be
Promiscuous.
promiscuous and
Mhm.
you just want to fuck, that's okay. Just make it very clear. All right? If you're looking for a boyfriend, if you're looking for a husband and it's still going to be promiscuous, those two don't go very well together,
So I agree.
right? I think what your goal is versus what your actions are, they have to match up, right? So there was a period of time where I just wanted to date. I just want to fuck around. I just wanted to meet women. So my goal was just to date for fun, and my actions were I'm just gonna fuck for fun. So when it comes to a woman, in the sense that hey, she says I'm looking for a boyfriend, cool. You have to be a lot more selective when it comes to that. So
Yeah.
no, a woman sleeping with 100 men is not the same as a man sleeping with 100 women. Abu?
Okay. I get what you're saying. So my thoughts on the matter are a bit skewed. So in my opinion, both are disgusting. Like
Interesting.
those are huge numbers. Those are huge numbers. So for the sake of this conversation, let's lower those numbers down and let's remove a zero from the end, right?
So 10.
So so let's make it 10,
Okay.
right? A woman sleeping with 10 men and a man sleeping with 10 women, in that situation will be completely different. Um, let's say we were both looking, let's say I was talking to a girl, I was trying to get into a relationship with her, and girls are never honest about their body count, rarely ever so.
They're usually
Uh,
hesitant about it to answer.
yeah, yeah. I mean, some, a very few, I might, like a tiny minority are, but most aren't. Let's say the girls in the minority that's really honest, right?
Hmm.
And she tells you, "Oh, I've had sex with 10 men in my entire life."
Okay.
Let's say we're both 27, right? She's like, "Yeah, I've had sex with 10 different people," and you, as the man, you say, "Okay, I've had sex with 10 people too," but then you think back, right? Like you said,
Mm,
as a man, it's hard for us to get sex, right?
agreed.
You know what it took for you to have sex with those 10 different girls. It took blood, sweat, and tears, right?
Yes, it did.
It had in you to sleep with 10 different women. With that woman, it probably wasn't that hard for her to find a man to sleep with, right? and this is going to encompass what you were saying before. It's
Okay.
more, it's not the same because women are held to a higher standard, right?
Agreed.
There are definitely double standards. There are gender roles. That all that stuff is it's still very very much in play.
Yes.
Society now tries to take away gender roles and tries to empower women, which is not a bad thing, but it disillusions people, and it in my opinion it destroys households in the long run because you have women who are moving like men when they shouldn't be, and it's not sustainable because in the long run what all men are looking for is that traditional woman,
And a
so
part of tradition, do you mean purity?
no, not well, yes and no. So a traditional woman was what? She was very submissive, she was very feminine. You didn't sleep with multiple men, right? Like a traditional woman would her first partner would most times be her husband, right? So it's like I'm the only one who has keys to this castle. I'm the only man who's ever been in this territory.
Yep.
That's a traditional. That's what my opinion of a traditional woman is.
Hmm.
Nowadays, that doesn't really exist. Girls are fucking the same time us boys are fucking around, and the gender roles are being what's the word for it? They're being erased, and we're being told that we are inherently equal when it's 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 good morally. I would say that being equal, but in the real world, there's no such thing as equality between the genders. Men
Yes.
have their place and women have their place, and
Yes.
as a woman, you are held to a higher standard of not being promiscuous, of
Hmm.
keeping your eyes closed, of doing the thing you said, where hey, I'm going to reserve this for someone who I think could potentially be my husband. Men are
Yes.
not held to that standard. Men are being held to that standard now in 2023 because of what rom-coms try to peddle, what dramas try to peddle, what some dating coaches, movies, music. You hear the influence in there, and it's trying to sell you this dream of equality between the genders when it's an illusion. If you find a couple that's really truly happy in their marriage and you ask them to describe what the dynamic of their relationship is,
Yeah.
you will see that for a majority of them, it's going to be that the guy's a traditional guy and the woman is a traditional woman.
Okay,
It's not
so let me be a little bit more personal with these questions, right?
okay.
You're married. Do you think your wife is a modern day woman or a traditional woman?
Oh, traditional
What makes her traditional?
because
Like, according to what you said, does she have a low body count?
yeah, I'm the only man she's ever been with.
Okay, and she's submissive. She
Submissive.
follows you. You lead.
Hmm. That's
Okay,
me.
is she? Would you say she's well educated?
She has a bachelor's degree.
Okay, would you say she is very successful at what she's doing?
Currently, she's making almost more money than me. So yeah.
So does money equate to success?
Yes, it does. Let's not bullshit ourselves. The more money you have, the more successful you are. Money equals success.
So even if you would you rather more money or higher a better title?
More money.
So the
Money
money
because
equates to success in that way.
of course, because think of it this way: you can be a CEO, right? But if you live in a one-bedroom apartment, in downtown, in Bed-Stuy,
Yeah.
no one's gonna give you that respect, right?
Ah, okay.
You're a janitor. Let's say you're the managerial janitor or something. I don't even know if I'm saying the title right, but
Yeah.
let's say you make, I don't know, 200K and you live in like this big ass beautiful house, you have cars parked outside, that automatically increases the respect people have for you because as human beings, we are programmed to recognize success, right? So when we see all those cars parked out, we're going to say, hey, whoever's living here has money. Money equals success. That's just how it is.
Also, that if that guy just says, "Oh, I'm a janitor," status also matters too. Like I asked a lot of girls, I was like, "Hey, would you date a janitor that's making this?" They're like, "No, he's just a janitor."
Oh, yes, but here's the thing. Realistically, if you were just a janitor, would you be making $200,000?
He's probably the head janitor or something like that. He's
Right.
probably like
So
a
what? your job title will probably be janitorial
So
engineer.
then, okay, how about we not talk about the top 1%? Let's talk about just the average man. What would,
I mean, 200,000. If you're making $200,000, you are not the 1%,
oh,
bro. You
100%?
are middle class. You are the upper echelon of middle class.
What does the average janitor make? Can we look that up?
Let's say about 50,000, 40,000, 45, 50,000, give or take. So
Mm,
if you're making four times that amount, but here's the thing. What I'm saying, right?
mhm.
Let's say you're making $200,000 as a janitor. You're not just a janitor. You're probably a manager. You're probably a manager.
Yeah.
You probably have some kind of certification under you. Probably have some experience. So your title, in fact, might be that you're a janitorial engineer, right? So now when you meet people, you're not telling them you're a janitor. Oh, I'm an engineer. Oh,
Okay.
how much money do you make? I make about $200,000 a year. Oh, you're an engineer. Now,
I
when
love how
the
you just switched the title there, and then now it sounds a lot more attractive.
Yeah, that's my point. So now, if I'm talking to a girl and I say I'm an engineer and I take her home and she sees that there's a Rolls Royce in the in the driveway, she sees that my lawn is nice and mowed. I have a fucking beautiful house. She's probably gonna sleep with me. She's probably gonna assume I'm successful. And by the time she finds out that, oh yeah, he's a janitorial engineer, she's not gonna give a fuck because you've laid down the D, right? She sees that you have money. She sees that you know how to carry yourself. She sees that you're an attractive person, right?
Yeah.
So she's not gonna give a fuck that that janitorial title comes with it because there's an engineering title in there and you're making bank.
Okay.
Because like I said, money equals success and success equals respect. When you are successful, people just automatically respect you. But I don't want to get off what you were saying about titles because titles are also important. I can't remember where, but I was watching a clip from I don't know if it was a podcast or a stage interview, but this guy was talking about how he used to be an ambassador and he went to some conference in some city. And when he was still the ambassador, as soon as he landed at the airport, he had a private car that took him to his private to a hotel that had this big, beautiful suite for him. He had a driver take him to the venue. He had all these things given to him. And then at the very next year, he went back to the same conference, but this time he was an ambassador. He had to book his own hotel. He had to iron his own suit. He had to get an Uber to the venue itself, and he had to get on that stage, and no one was there giving him stuff because he didn't have the title anymore. So yes, titles also bring respect, but the respect is temporary because as soon as you lose that title, you lose the respect.
Okay, he didn't have the title amount. Was he making the same money?
Well, I'm not sure. He probably, I think he was an ambassador or something like that. So I would assume that if you were an ambassador, right, unless you retire, you're going to get a promotion, right? Assuming you weren't fired, obviously.
I feel
they
like
might come back the
whatever
very
the
next.
title is, there's usually like a certain amount of money that matches that title.
Right, but my point in the analogy is that he got all those perks because he was the ambassador, right?
Okay.
Now there was a new ambassador and he went to the same conference, but because he wasn't the ambassador,
Yeah.
he didn't get that treatment. He didn't get his private suite. He didn't get a private driver. He didn't have someone pick him up at the airport. He had to do all these things for himself because the title was gone. So it's important to have a title, but the lesson in that is that titles come and go. If you build wealth, that's your money. It's your money. You're gonna have the money. Assuming you don't blow it and gamble it all away or do something stupid. But
Fair enough.
yeah, titles don't last.
Fair enough. Okay. Let me kind of like transition a little bit. So you've been married for about 2 years, correct?
Correct.
Previously, before your marriage, what was your longest relationship?
Longest, I would say 4 months.
Okay. And your shortest?
Shortest, I don't even know if I can call it a relationship. So
Then at what point does it become a relationship?
when the girl gives you the the conversation of, hey, what are
So
we?
she can give you the conversation in the very first date?
No, obviously that's psycho behavior, and you should run far, far away.
All right. She can give you the first conversation after our first date?
All right? Let me answer your question with a question.
First
Has a
date,
girl
you
done
went
that
out
to
with
you?
her, you fucked her, you had a great time, chemistry, attraction was there, and then she goes home, she was like, I really want to spend more time with you. Can we be boyfriend and girlfriends?
Honestly, bro, that would freak me out. I've never had a girl do that to me, but that would freak me out
Okay.
because when you first meet someone, and we've had this conversation before, when you first meet someone, that's not the real them. That's their representative.
Great.
That's their representative. It takes 3 to 6 months for that representative to go away and the real them to come out. So I wouldn't trust any girl who wants to be my girlfriend after one date. It's like it's like red flags galore. Like I might change your name in my phone to red flag. No, you can't
Okay.
date someone after you can't, become someone's boyfriend or girlfriend after one date. The only time where I would see that being okay is if you guys previously dated, and you had like a long history, and for whatever reason you guys came back together, and after one date she said, "Hey, I want to run it back and do it better this time." Okay, that wouldn't freak me out as much, because we've been there, we've done that, we've established something. But I've never met you until last Thursday, and then on Friday morning after you wake up and your vagina's still vibrating from all the orgasms I gave. Want me to be your fucking boyfriend? Nah, it's gonna freak me out. It's gonna make me
You're
run away.
flattered though, right?
No, bro, I'm creeped out because here's the thing.
Wow. Okay.
Like I know what I bring to the table, right?
Hmm.
So if you like me, I'm just gonna assume that you're gonna want to be my girlfriend, like right off the bat. So
Okay.
I'm not really flattered because there's a lot of girls who want to date me. That's just my mentality. That's how I go into how I used to go into dating.
As you
So
should. As you should.
yeah,
You can't
as you
walk in
should,
with a weak mentality for sure.
as you should. So yeah, longest I'd say 4 months before this one, and the shortest I'd say maybe 2 months, if you can even call it that.
Okay. All right. So it's a very interesting jump from your longest relationship was 4 months to now currently 6 years, maybe.
Hmm.
That's a huge jump. So, which is why I asked you earlier, like, what was the defining factor that just like, you know what, this is something I want to check. But come on, you don't just go from 4 months. Some people go to like from 4 months to a year, 4 months to two. But you went from 4 months to now currently six. So is it
Years.
that you did not want to commit, or is it just like, you know what, I didn't find the one? What do you think?
A little bit of both because I was still young at the time. I was still having fun, but at the same time, I
What does
hadn't.
having fun mean, by the way? When someone says that, I'm having fun.
You're a guy, dude. You know what you know exactly what you know
Just,
exactly.
just for the podcast, what does having fun mean? When a guy or girl comes to you and like, hey, I'm just having fun right now. What does that mean, Abu?
I'm fucking whoever the fuck I want. That's what that means.
Mm,
That means.
okay. Okay.
So that's where I was at. So this is actually that's a great question because it leads me into I believe your next topic, which was standards,
Yeah.
and picky and stuff like that. So girls are delusional, right? When it comes to dating. I'm sorry, girls, you guys just are. They want Prince Charming. They want a perfect relationship. That's why you see a lot of girls cater their like IG profiles to having this picture perfect relationship with their boyfriend. When as long as you're not stupid, you know that that's not the case because all relationships have issues and
Mm-hmm.
it's not perfect. But girls live in this fairy tale world from a very young age where they want their Prince Charming, their knight in shining armor, and they stick with that want until they start dating, and then when their expectations aren't met, which is I want to say 90 to 99% of the time, we get stuff like men ain't shit. All these guys are the same, blah 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 blah. Their standards, right, are so high that
I
men can't.
apologize about the background noise.
Oh, I can't even hear it.
Okay.
Uh,
Continue.
so their standards are so high that men can't even, adhere or like uh, reach up to those standards. Now, I say that all to say that men, good like good men who are family orientated and want to build something real, we are built the same way, right? Not to say that we want like a princess or someone who's picture perfect, blah blah blah. No, I say that in the sense that we tend to become very picky, especially when you got the juice, when that, yo, I can probably date Nah, let me not be cocky. I could probably date 70% of the girls that I want. I could probably get them, right? Once you get to that stage, you as a man start to become picky, right? And then you start to notice all the little flaws about women. So when I met my wife, that's the stage I was at, right? Where I would notice little flaws about women. And a big red flag for me would be promiscuity. Another big red flag would be you trying to use me to fund your lifestyle. You know, you trying to use me to like show off and like have me as arm candy. You know, there's just certain
Wait,
things.
wait, back up for a second. It's a red flag
Oh yeah,
for
you know,
them
girls do that.
to show you off as an arm candy. Do you
Oh yeah,
not like that?
so in the beginning, not when we're together. In the very beginning, like I say, we just started talking. It's been like maybe a week or two. We're going out, and she floods you, like she puts you all over her social media. Like she makes it look like you're a couple when you guys haven't had that conversation yet and that understanding. That's a red flag because that tells me she's looking for societal approval. You know, and you don't want to date someone who's looking for societal approval, right? I mean, we all want societal approval to some degree, but you don't want someone who wants it that to that extent. But I say all that to say that when I met my wife, she had none of those qualities, right? She wasn't a promiscuous person. She wasn't a person who was out here trying to use me for my money. Like she took care of herself. Like 6 months into talking, she never asked me for money to do her hair, never asked me for money to do her nails, never asked me for a fucking cent. Right? This was a big one. Whenever we would go out, past the first date, because on the first date the guy always pays. So guys, don't ever let a guy tell you, listen, guys, you should always pay for all dates, point blank, period. But with her, what she did was like she would like pay for the bill without me even knowing. Like, and that was huge for me because it's like it's one thing if it comes to the table and we're clamoring for it, but it's another thing for you to go behind my back and give your card to the guy and say, hey, like, charge my card, like, don't let him pay for this.
My
And
brother,
that showed me, I'm like, whoa, like you're
my
different.
brother,
Like,
that is fucking gold right there.
yeah, I'm like
That
you're
is a,
different.
you know what?
Right off the bat, right off the
That's
bat. Not
huge.
Yeah, right off the bat, no promiscuity, no asking me for money for things, no uh like no high expectations of this or that. And up to that point, she was the best woman qualified to be my wife.
Wow, I love that. I like the fact that you said qualified. You know what I'm saying?
Qualified.
See, all right. I've always said this, right? I like to compare dating to job interviews, right? What's up, Nora? Welcome to the channel. I think dating and going on a job interview are so much alike. Think about it.
Beginning stages of dating,
Yes,
yes.
the beginning stage, right? As an employer, you're trying to see, is this person qualified for my company? And as the employee, you're asking, is this somewhere I want to invest my time into, right? Like the money is going to come no matter what. Yes, I get it. But is this somewhere I want to invest my time and effort, blood, sweat, all that stuff into, right? And here's the
Oh,
thing though, when you're broke and you're desperate, when it comes to job hunting, you'll take anything.
yeah.
Keyword desperate. So when it comes to dating and you're not seeing anyone, you haven't had sex in a very long time, at a certain point, you get desperate for anything. Your standards go down way low, right? Now, when you have a job already, now when you're dating somebody already and you're exploring your options, now your standards go up because now you're like, it's not just about sex anymore. That part is being fulfilled. Now you start looking about the other things that matters the most to you, right?
So I was going to ask you about that because I was a little unclear on what you meant about standards being low. I thought you meant standards being low in terms of like just getting anyone to be your girlfriend, but you clarified right now when you said like you need to have sex and you need to have that desire fulfilled, and then you can think about the relationship. So you're speaking more so about
Well, more
from a
like needs,
from a
needs,
man's perspective.
right? For
Uh,
example, as men and women, right? Our needs are we need food, right?
mhm,
We need shelter, and we need
mhm,
security, right?
mhm.
When those needs are being met, cool, we can start looking for everything else. So that's what I mean. So when it comes to dating and job, searching for a job, you're like, your need is money at the time, right?
Hmm.
So you don't care how you get it, you just need the money. Now,
Yeah.
after you have your that need being met, now you're like, okay, I'm going to start looking for other things. Now your standard starts raising and all that stuff, right?
Right.
So when it the key word that you said, I want to keep going back to, you said qualified, right?
Hmm.
I Why are we stop qualifying people? Like, again, this is your life, right? This, you only get one. This is your time. Time is your most valuable asset, right? So when it comes to a job, do you want to go to a job and do you want to work a job for many years that you're super unhappy at?
You don't.
No, right? Do you want to be in a relationship that you're super unhappy with?
You do
No.
not.
So the whole, when your standards are low, when your desperation is right there, you're willing to sit there, right?
Yeah.
You're willing to sit there in the pain, and you know why? Because it doesn't hurt enough. It hurts just enough, so you're like, you know what? I
It
need
doesn't.
this,
You are right.
right?
It
So I love the fact that you said qualified when it comes to your wife, because again, you only get very few wives. You can have a lot of people you can date, and then it becomes smaller with people who become your boyfriend or girlfriend, and it becomes very small with people who you marry, right?
Yeah.
So you're filtering, you're qualifying people who you're gonna spend the rest of your life with.
Exactly. And you see how me and you have that mindset? A lot of guys don't. Um, but in terms of who has it worse out here, in terms of finding people who are marriage material, it's the woman, right? Because right off the bat, they outnumber us, I believe, right now, 3-1 globally,
Mm-hmm.
coming up on 4-1
Okay.
man to woman ratio. So there's already way more women out here than men, right?
Okay.
And now, because of societal standards and whatnot, women have become way more pickier.
Yeah.
They're looking for so many different things that you might find in one guy, but you won't find in 10, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now, like, they, let's say they have a checkbox list of 25 things, like they'll have to settle for the guy who has like 10, right? Because their standards are so high and they've been conditioned to be chased and be sought after a specific way that women who think they have a lot of options, they tend to overanalyze and quickly disqualify guys. I remember there was this one time this random girl added me on IG. This is the weirdest shit that's ever happened to me.
Okay.
That she added me on IG. She was pretty cute, but she wasn't all that. Back then I was single and I was like, okay, she looks fun. Might tap that, might not. We'll see what happens. So
Yeah.
she added me. I accepted. I added her back. She accepted. Um, so I DM'd her. I'm like, hey, like, what's up? And the first question she asked me, Craig, I shit you not, is, do you have a car? It's like, um,
So now she pulled out her qualifying questions right off the bat.
right off the bat.
She's
So
like,
it's
I
like
got options. Do you have a car?
no, I don't have a car. I don't want a car. Like,
Did you ask her back if she has a car?
because I was so fucking confused, and I didn't have to ask her back because she told me, she's like, well, I drive a Mercedes, blah 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 blah. I don't need a man who doesn't drive. Like, how much money do you make? Was the second question, and I was like, whoa,
Woo! So
so
it's more about what
I,
you have than who you are.
for her specifically, she was a very shallow person.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of girls aren't like that, but with that case specifically, it was just fucking weird. So I go
Yes.
on her profile on IG. This was like a long time ago.
Okay.
I don't even think they had stories back then on IG, but they did. But I looked at her profile and I saw that she had recently graduated with her master's degree in something,
Mm-hmm.
and she's working in the health field. And she had a picture of her Mercedes
Give
on
me
her
one second, Abu. Nora, what would you like to talk about specifically on Discord? And also, if you do want to talk, you want to get into this conversation, feel free to type anything in the chat. We'll answer any questions whatsoever. Sorry, Abu, continue.
Yeah, so she had these pictures on IG posted with her degree and her car, and I saw that she was a modern day successful woman. And like I said, she was attractive, but she wasn't drop dead gorgeous. But it seemed like her disqualifiers were automatically money, because from a looks department, she added me first, right? So she was clearly attracted to me.
Mm-hmm.
But the second thing that she was looking for was money, and money is what? Security for women.
Yes.
But in the same breath, like let's say I was a dude, right? And I had the money. Let's say I was making 100,000, 150,000, and shit me up. And I told her, yeah, I drive a Bentley. This is how much I made. And she was interested in getting to know me. You know what I would have done, Craig? I would have fucked the shit out of that girl, but I would not date her
Mm.
because she showed me that this is what she's looking for. Like, what happens when I lose my ability to make money one day, God forbid, due to some tragic reason, and
That
now you
means she
can't.
wasn't the real one. She wasn't quite there for you.
And
She,
that's
which is why all right. I heard Fresh and Fit said this specifically, Myron. Right? He says
it's fresh.
women love you conditionally, right? And
100%.
and men can love you unconditionally. Women love
100%.
you based on what you have and what you can provide for them in the moment. The moment that changes, the whole thing is out the window.
100% agree. Men, we can love unconditionally. I told you this before. If we are attracted to a female, we do not give a fuck how much money you make. We don't give a fuck where you come from. We don't give a fuck about anything. We will love you. We will take care of you. We will bless you.
Which
Right?
is why I say love between men and women and love and sex between men and women are so freaking different. Listen, like again, a man can pick a girl from freaking fucking Burger King, right? And love her unconditionally. A woman picking a guy from Burger King who is more successful? Come on.
Doesn't happen.
That's so less likely to happen. I'm
Doesn't
not saying
happen
it doesn't
before.
happen, it's just way less likely to happen.
It doesn't happen. I'm telling you right now, it doesn't happen.
Doesn't
bro.
happen. We need to
Doesn't-
do a full survey on men in Burger King and ask how many women are picking them up.
Because it goes back to one of the earlier conversations I brought up about me knowing guys in the past that, were attractive, but women just wanted to fuck them and leave, right?
Yeah.
Now, you might be, let's say you were working at Burger King, right? And you were super attractive and a super rich and successful woman came in. She might she might let you hit. She might buy you some stuff. She might help you out in a situation. But she's serious. She's not taking you home to daddy. Like, daddy, this is the man I want to. Fuck no, she's not doing that. No way, Jose. Like, because like she's held to a different standard than you, right? She's above you. Like, it's like in all sense of the word, she's above you. Like, she has a higher status of you in society. Like, it's not. There's no such thing as unconditional love for a woman when it comes to being with a man. Now, we just mentioned one part, that being the money aspect for it, but some women could be for men for other reasons. It goes back to my arm candy analogy, right? Like, oh, this man looks so good, right? And I know all these bitches want him. So the fact that I have him, I won, right? Now I'm not gonna. He can't go anywhere because I want him. Like I have to stay with him. I've seen women, stay with men because of that reason. And it has nothing to do with how much money he makes and stuff like that. I mean, obviously they weren't absolute losers and they had money of their own, but it's not always just about the money that causes women to love unconditionally. It could be because they feel like they worked hard to get you.
Okay.
It could be because they feel like they don't have any better options out there. Like, hey, this is as good as I'm gonna get. Like, I'm not gonna get another dude that's better than this, or maybe I will, but by the time I find him, I'm gonna be old. My tips are gonna be saggy. I'm not gonna be as attractive. I'm gonna work super. Like, yeah, women will stay
Yeah.
because of that. But if you don't provide anything to her emotionally
Yeah.
or physically, then yeah, she'll find a reason to
You
leave.
know what's fucked up? It's when they hit a wall, right? That's when they're willing to drop certain standards. Like, I'm gonna say two things, right? Question number one: who's picker, men or women? And two, have you ever heard about the 80-20 rule? Right, where
In what sense?
the 80-20 rule, where you're never gonna find someone who's 100% of what you're looking for. They're either gonna be 80% of what it is or 20% of what it is, right? It's never 100. So the question is this: Do you throw away someone who gives you 80% of what you want for that missing 20%? Right?
Definitely,
And
definitely not.
here's a beautiful thing about the 80-20 rule. The longer you date, the the shorter that 20% that's missing gets, right? Because your love grows. Your love grows from
Oh, the
you
longer you're dating someone.
yes, yes.
Okay, okay.
Now, like in the beginning stage, it's called infatuation, right? And then it
Okay.
grows into what people call the brotherly love, where it's like, yo, you my ride or die, you my best friend, right?
Um,
And then the last stage is we call it old people love, where it's like, no matter what, I ain't going nowhere. I fucking love you. You my we're doing this together till death do us fucking part, right?
okay.
So all the little things that was missing along the way, it starts being chipped off. Let's just say, you know what, you actually wanted to marry a 9 or 10, but she's a 6.5, but she crushes it in every other area. Now you're like, you know what, you're looking cuter and cuter in 2 3 years. You know what, babe? You're a little heavy on the side. Can we go to the gym together? Can we work out together? And now over the next 2 years, she's looking nicer. She's looking healthier. You're like, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like the things that you thought that was a huge deal breaker, that huge 20%, starts not mattering anymore. So
Yeah.
yes, thoughts.
I think that that 20% gap starts to shrink the more in love you fall with the person.
Agreed. Mm-hmm.
Because that's essentially what you're talking about. Before you fall in love, the fact that she has 80% or he has 80%
Mm-hmm.
of what the person is looking for, that's already fucking high because chances are the people they've dated have only had 50%, 60%. So right off the bat, the fact that you have 80%, you're already overqualified. You only need a B to pass the test, right? So once you get into that relationship, you already passed the test, so it can only get better, right?
Yeah.
Now, if it's some people, well, men are we're more looks based, right? So if you maintained yourself really well when we first started dating, and then the quality dipped, like as time went on, we're gonna have a problem with that, and then that 20 might actually grow instead of actually shrinking. But if you're doing your job as a man in the relationship and taking care of your woman, she's gonna do her best to look good for you at all times. So that 20 is gonna shrink.
Mm-hmm.
So this is my analogy when it comes to well, I wouldn't even call it an analogy. This is just my thoughts on it. Basically, it's the woman's job to manage the relationship, manage it, and it's the man's job to maintain it. So the woman manages and tweaks and assigns different things that have to happen in a relationship. And it's the man's responsibility to make sure that she is happy and in a place where she wants to do that. Because the moment your girl stops managing the relationship, that's when her eye starts to wander. That's when she allows other men to talk to her. That's when the disrespect comes in. And remember what I said earlier, we don't need love, we need respect.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to make your woman happy in the relationship in order for her to manage it properly, you know. And that's what I mean by you have to maintain it because you have to maintain your girl's happiness. You have to make sure she's taken care of. You have to make sure that she's, sexually and emotionally satisfied. You have to be a good listener. There's so many things that a man has to do in order to make that 80% go from 20, right? If she has that 80% when you first meet her, it's not her job to get up to 100. It's your job as the man. You have to give her the intangibles to make that number go up.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't give her those intangibles and those numbers go down, it's your fault.
Okay. Well said. Well said. All right. Moving on to the next one. Okay. So, what is dating in New York like for you? What was it? Keyword past tense. What was dating in New York like for you?
Well, my experience wasn't the same as other people's experience because I didn't seriously date when I was able to actually start going out on dates. I was just dating for fun, so it was just movie dates, like one restaurant, and calling it quits. Um, if I was single now, I would tell you that dating in New York City is the fucking best, right? Uh, I found as, listen, dude, as long as you make a steady income, your bills are paid, and
Yeah.
you don't have any like financial struggles, dating is super fucking fun in New York City, right?
Yeah.
There's so many places. You can literally go to a new restaurant every single day the entire year, and you wouldn't even cover half the restaurants in Manhattan, let alone in Queens, Brooklyn, the Bronx. Like there's so many different restaurants to cover, right? Um, yeah, it's super easy. I feel like a lot
Let
of
me
people
be
don't.
more specific. What was the most exciting thing about dating for you?
Having sex, bro.
Okay.
Listen, like as men,
As in, like the moment having
ultimate.
sex and such, like the moment you're having intercourse, you're in it. You're like, this
Well,
was
let's
like
not bullshit ourselves, right? The whole reason we go on dates is to attain sex,
what?
right?
It's a goal.
Then no, 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 no. If you knew for a fact that you were not having sex with this girl, you would not go on a date with her. That's the only to think about it. You wouldn't. If you knew for a fact that your flesh rocket wouldn't be inserted into her vagina, you would not go on a date with her.
Yeah.
Like you go on a date in hopes that she'll give you the box. Like that's just what
Yeah.
it is.
I mean,
And
obviously, you want to get to know her too,
the
but
girl goes on the date to see whether or not you deserve to put your flesh rocket in her. Let's just be frank.
yes,
That's just how it is. Because
yes,
at the end of the day, we both want the same thing. Men and women both want the same thing. We both want to have sex because we're biologically programmed to fuck. That's just what it is. Men, we're more short-sighted, so we just want the instant gratification. So we want to fuck immediately. But women think long term. They think, okay, do I want to have this man's babies? Like it might not be an active thought in their mind on the first date, but somewhere back in their mind, you're being qualified as husband material. Like they want to see.
oh, okay, okay. Can we pause for 1 second? Because I saw something very interesting this week, and I want to add on to exactly what you just said.
Okay,
If a woman consent to have sex with you without a condom, is that also consent to be a dad?
I mean it depends. Like is she on birth control?
No,
Like
she's not on
so.
birth control. She's not on any of that. You guys are getting hot and heavy, right? And
Like
you're putting the condom
one,
on. She's like, you know what? Fuck it, take it off. It's better this way. Are you consenting at that moment to be a dad?
I wouldn't say yes.
Is unprotected sex consent to be a dad?
I think that's a question for the courts, my brother. Because I'm sure there's a lot of people who are dads right now who became dads in the exact scenario you're talking about. So yes, to be cynical, to be a half glass empty kind of guy, yeah, you are consenting to have sex. Now, with that being said, most
You're
times,
consenting to be a dad.
I'm sorry, to be a dad, yes.
Yeah.
Most times during the heat of the moment, that's exactly what it is. It's the heat of the moment. Like, listen, most guys would fuck a female family member if they were really in the mood, right? So I think that's more of like a girl, like if a girl's letting you like have unprotected sex with her, that's her decision to become a parent.
So she
Like
already qualified you to be a dad. Even
for
if she
sure,
meets you once, first
yes.
night, she says, you know what?
Oh no, no. If she meets you once and she lets you fuck it raw the first night, and
Yes.
you agree to that, you're a dumbass. Why the fuck are you letting anybody have unprotected sex with you the first night? I'm thinking about. I thought you were talking more so along the lines of we've been dating for a few months.
Oh,
We've
I'm
known.
talking in general, man.
No,
That's
no,
what
no,
I'm
no.
saying. Where
No,
it's
it's not
like,
subjective because dating is subjective, right? If it's the first date and she's doing this, no,
mhm.
she's just a hoe, right? I'm not. First of all, I'm not
Which is
fucking you
why
yet.
I said unprotected sex, because unprotected sex could happen at any moment. It could be the
But
first time, it could be the second time.
it's more common if when with people who are in a relationship. Would you agree? You've had more unprotected sex with people you're in relationships with than
Yes.
you have.
If I'm in a long term relationship, I'm having more unprotected sex. That's correct.
Exactly. So
So
that's
it,
the assumption I was
so
operating
now I'm
under.
telling her, hey, since we agreed to have unprotected sex, I agreed to also be a dad.
If it's the first day,
No, this is your a
if it's
relationship.
a relationship, well, I believe it's unspoken. If you guys haven't had the conversation at that point,
Can I tell
I
the
guess
judge that it's unspoken?
it's unspoken because if you guys had conversations about it in the past, I don't think it would be a problem with you taking off the condom, right? Does that make
Now,
sense?
I will put the condom on quickly. If she says, if she comes, look, first of all, I always walk with condoms and I always prefer to use it. But if she says, you know what, you don't need it, of course I will like it. I'm just like, I need to know there's an understanding though.
That's my point. So if you guys have had conversations in the past, like, hey, if we slip up, are you gonna go get a plan B ASAP, no Rocky? If she's like, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. Oh yeah,
People also lie.
let's cream some pies. Let's have fun, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But if she's like, I really want to be a mom, like that's all I want, and she's been hinting to you that she's trying to get pregnant, for the past 3 months, and one
Mm-hmm.
day you're fucking, and she's like, take off the condom, and you take off the condom, then my brother, you have consented to become a dad.
Okay.
That's just what it is. Like men control their actions during sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like if you fuck a girl raw, that's your decision. Like she
Oh,
can
so
take it
let's
raw.
take it a step better then, right? Women
Mhm.
control access to sex. Men control access to relationships and marriage, right? Now,
Mhm.
in this situation that we're just talking about, right? If a man consents to having sex, to having unprotected sex, he's also consenting to being a dad then.
Yes, absolutely.
Even though, can we just flip it around, right? Even though women have so many different types of birth control, they first of all, they have female condoms, they have birth control, right? And not only that, there's Plan B, and even that worst case scenario, you can still get an abortion, right? And not even that. Let's just say you do have the baby, right? You can give it up for adoption, right? But again, it all comes back to the guy having
I have a few
consent.
comments. So it's interesting that you brought that up. I was having a conversation with my wife actually a few weeks ago, and we were talking about someone who had gotten pregnant last year and had a baby, and she was like, "Oh, this baby wasn't planned; it was accidental." Blah blah blah. And me and my wife were like, "Nah, she's full of shit. It's 2023. There's no such thing as
It's an accidental baby now.
like
Yeah.
you if you're on birth control, if he nuts in you, you know,
You know
like
your ovulation cycle as well too, because
right,
there's
you
apps for
know
these
that.
things.
But not just an ovulation cycle. If you have unprotected sex, even if that's your partner, right? Um, if you guys have said, hey, we're not trying to have kids right now, blah, 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 whatever, whatever, and he nuts in you, okay, all right, let me go get a plan B. Oh, babe,
Mm-hmm.
give me some money to go get a plan B. You know this. And like you said, there's abortion options. I mean, I think adoption is drastic because it's like, to me, it shouldn't even get to that point. You should be on birth control, using condoms, or at the very worst, using plan B. I think if Plan B is used, there's a 97% chance within the first 72 hours of
That's
you not
correct.
consuming. So you have 3 days and to fucking go take a pill,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like I back in the day, I had sex with girls where it might have been unprotected for like the very, very beginning parts, like right after I just ate her out, I just slide in there and we have sex and like when I feel the pre-cum coming, like I'll put on the condom and then we'll continue.
Mm-hmm.
But after sex, just to be safe, I'll be like, yo, let me go get you a plan B, and I'll go
Just to
buy
be
her.
safe.
Yeah, I'll go buy her one, and she'll take it right in front of me,
Can I
just
ask
so I
another
know.
question? Do you also
Yeah.
consent to STDs?
Do you consent to STDs? What do you mean
Yeah,
by
when you
that?
have
How did
unprotected
anybody
sex.
consent to STDs? Nobody wants STDs.
All right, but people lie. Do you right at the moment like, yo, I want to slide that? Listen to what you just said. You know, you eat her out and you're about to like slide it in for a little bit before you feel the pre cum, right? At that moment, right? Did you consent to like? Did you ask her like, hey, do you have anything, or are you just like,
But
fuck it?
so there's something there's etiquette in the dating world, right? If you're burning, you need to take care of that before you have sex. Like if you're having sex with people and you have an STD, you are a bad human being.
What
You are a
no
bad
shit,
person.
Sherlock. But just what does a bad human being do? Do you think they tell you that they have it?
Well, yeah, but at that point, that's just the luck of the draw. Like you're not consenting to
So you're
having an
playing
STD.
you're playing it by luck
No,
when
no,
it
no,
comes
no,
to
no, no.
STDs,
Because
but it's
no, no,
consent when it comes to kids.
no, 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 no. It's not luck because it's just assumed that the person you're sleeping with doesn't have an STD. Like it's like I don't know the statistics, but I doubt. 80% of girls out here that are fucking have STDs.
Wait.
Like, I don't know what the
Pearl
numbers
said
are.
it earlier. Um, I think Pearl said, I forgot what she said, but I'm gonna look up the stat. Keep going, keep going.
That's like, listen, there's etiquette. I mean, that comes down to you as the man having a good, sense of character, being able to judge people properly. Because I wouldn't want to, like, people who tend to carry STDs and sleep around are, the promiscuous type. As a man, I don't want to have unprotected sex with a promiscuous person. I might sleep with you, but I'm gonna put on a condom. Like, if I know that you're promiscuous, I'm not fucking you raw. And going back to your
So you're
relationship, and
asking her, okay, how do you know that she's promiscuous? Do you access before you have sex with her?
you don't have to ask. Sometimes you can just same
Again,
way.
you're assuming that. Why you don't ask?
Listen, I
Also, the stat is 1 out of 5 people.
1 out of 5 people. So here's my thing. I always recommend that you not have unprotected sex with anyone you're not seriously dating. That's number one. So to answer your question, if it's like you're just fucking these people and you choose to have unprotected sex with them, then yes, you consent to an STD. However, if you're in a relationship with someone and you sleep with them, there shouldn't be no fucking STDs there because you're the only two people fucking each other. So it's either
Did
she
this
bought
person give you their history? Did they tell you like, hey, maybe I had something back in the day
Well,
or
how long
something
have you
like
guys
that?
been dating? How long have you guys been dating in this example?
No. Okay. Oh, okay. I got one. I got one.
Because you're not gonna be burning for 4 fucking
Nah,
months.
I
Then
got
on
you.
month
I got
five,
you. So me and this girl were dating for about a month, right? And at first,
so you guys were dating. You guys weren't boyfriend and girlfriend yet.
hold on. Within the first, 2 weeks, we kind of like we really fell hard for each other in a way, and we were like, you know what? We were being open still, but we're like, you know what? I just want to fuck you without a condom, right? So I was like, and then she talked to me. She was like, you know what? We should get an STD test before, right? Now,
Okay.
before we finally got an STD test, let's just say in the second month, I learned, and she never told me, and we already fucked before without a condom, that she had an STD a couple months before. She never revealed that to me until it was time to take the test. So what I'm saying is that even though we were seeing each other exclusively for a bit, she never told me about her past history until it was time for an STD test where it showed her previous results, right? Not just the results for that moment. It showed like, oh, a couple months ago I got tested as well, and this was the thing. So that's what I'm saying. Not everybody chooses to reveal their past STDs. They'll tell you right now, I don't have anything. Right now I'm clean,
They don't have to,
but they don't
because
tell.
that's the key word right there. They don't have anything, right? If they still had it, then yeah, they're a fucking piece of shit if they don't tell you. But if she doesn't have an STD currently, it's none of your fucking business. Because quite frankly, if you never met her, that's still her history. If she was fucking some other guy, that's still her history.
Yeah.
The most important thing is that she doesn't have it and she's not giving you anything. That's the important part. As long as she's not spreading anything to you,
Yeah.
you're golden, buddy. Like that's because you want to preserve your health. You want to be in a good place. You don't want to catch anything, and you shouldn't be sleeping with women who are promiscuous without a condom. Like if you're not dating her, wear a fucking condom
Okay.
at all times. Wear a condom.
Okay.
She's not your girlfriend. She's not your fiance. She's not your wife. Wear a condom. You know.
Good point. Good point. All right, let me go. I'm gonna go to one more topic for now, and we can also attack on these other ones on another day. Um, before first date, do you think you should check someone's Instagram or social media before you're going on this date?
Yeah, you should. You want to get a sense of the person. You want to see what kind of social life they have. You want to see what kind of stuff they're posting.
And what if you don't like the sense of the person, but that's not who
Then
they really are?
you don't go on the date. As simple as that. If you don't like the sense of the person, you don't go on the date. Now,
Okay,
from
who
a-
you present on social media, is that truly who you are?
I was going to get right into that. Most females are very, very like they're very in tune with what they put out there, what they choose to show. So it's like the job interview analogy again, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're going to see the best representative on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram. So to me, that's already sort of like a red flag, sort of like if I go on your IG and there's nothing but picture perfect stuff up there, like you just have like super duper cool stuff there,
So you're
but
basically judging the book by its cover then.
hold on. But we've been friends for like 6 months, and you only post like once every 2 weeks when you go out to, have drinks with your friends. That tells me, or I'm inferring from that, that what you're putting out there is not your real lifestyle, right? Now, if you're posting stuff on your story every, 24 to 48 hours of you living the photos that are in the profile, then what you see is what you get. And I'll be like, okay, this person is really living like this. But if everything is all glammed up and you barely post anything, that's just your representative, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Now, I cannot fully judge you and from just that. And if that looks good and if there's nothing there to make me say, you know what, nah, this ain't for me, I'll go out on a date with you. I'll see what it is. But best believe during that date, I'm trying to really figure out what I'm getting here. You feel me?
Okay, so
Now,
let's time travel for a second. I'm so sorry. Let's time travel for a second.
Okay.
Before there was social medias, before there was Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff.
Oh, life was so much easier back then. I'm just assuming. Just assuming.
A lot easier. And you meet the person, you meet the girl at school, wherever the hell you meet the person, right? Cool. You ask them out on a date. Didn't you just go based off what you've seen so far? Because here's my thing, right? You're willing. We're judging the book by its cover, which is true. Every dating app, what are you doing? You're putting your customer representative out. You're putting the best version of yourself out. Cool. Why do you need to go to another social media to get more references? Why do you need to go to Instagram, Facebook? All these stuff that you can find out on the date. Why find it out before? Why find out, oh, they just came from a trip? Why find out, like, oh, this is what's going on in your life, and not on the date?
Because that's where people live now. People put their entire lives on social media.
So why don't you just date them on social media instead of dating them in real life?
Because you can't fuck anybody virtually yet. Mark Zuckerberg hasn't invented the technology, right?
Not yet. Not yet. We seen Black Mirror. Shit's gonna be possible soon. So, not yet.
Getting sidetracked, but you need physical intimacy. Like when I say physical intimacy, you need to see somebody in person. You need to touch somebody. You need to be face to face with someone. Basically, all social media is just pre-screening. It's giving me a reason to or not to go out with you. That's all it is. But yeah, when you meet someone in person, like that's when you have those real deeper conversations. Like you can't get all the real from just the Instagram profile or the Facebook profile.
So, do you personally think that a part of the pre-screening process, a part of the qualifying process, right, should be social media? And now let me go back to reference that to jobs, right? Some jobs, when they're choosing you, they do look at your social media to see if this is someone I want a part of my company, right? So, do you think when it comes to dating, social media should be a pre-screening process?
If you have social media, yeah, it should definitely be in the pre-screening process. Yeah, absolutely, because that's your personal life out there on the internet. You're choosing to put that out there of yourself, right? So I want to see what kind of decisions you make in terms of what you post, what you allow people to see. I want to see from a man's perspective, if I date you, what information will people get out of you about our dating life, right? Because some people like to plaster everything. Like you've seen the ants on Instagram. You know what I'm talking about. Fucking ants on top. The little, like they'll have like 100 posts on their story and they're like chronicling everything.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Like I want to see if you're that kind of person. I want to see if you're more low key. Like, yeah,
so if this person was like, you know what, I don't really feel comfortable sharing my social media at this moment.
That's a red flag. What do you have to hide? Because now you're like,
everybody
you're hiding.
has something to hide.
Yeah, but most days now, Craig, when you go and ask a girl for her number, she won't give you her number. She'll say, I don't feel comfortable giving you my number. I'll give you my IG
Yeah,
instead.
when did we fucking evolve from giving number to IG?
Because
Literally.
that's exactly what I'm telling you. You're not listening. The girl is looking at your social media to see what kind of person you are. If she has 20,000 followers and she has a lot of dudes on her dick, right? But you only have 200 followers and you're following 15,000 people, and you look desperate out there and you post whack shit on social media, she's not gonna want to go on a date with you.
It's
You
fucking
feel me?
bullshit.
It's a pre-screening process, and girls use it more than men do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely.
an advice we would give men is build your social profiles.
Oh, absolutely. Build your social. One way you can do that, men, is when you're having fun, like let's say you're on the beach or you're at a concert or something, take pictures with women. Uh, they don't have to be fully in the picture. Just have them somewhere in the image, because girls are motivated by jealousy. I mean, we all are, guys are too, but when a girl sees you with other girls
Hmm.
like that, it raises your status in her eyes, right? Now she wants to compete for you. If a guy sees a woman posted up with five different dudes in a picture, we're just gonna assume that she's a slut, right?
So it
It's
lowers
not,
her value.
it lowers her value, yeah. Because like I said earlier, no matter what anyone tells you, gender roles are real and women are held to higher standards, right? Um, Women find men more attractive when other women find that man attractive. It's just the
That
truth.
is true.
So best way to build your social media is
That is
do
true.
fun stuff, post pictures with women. I mean, now no one really posts pictures, but like post stories of you with women. Even if they're like female cousins, if they're attractive, you don't have to tell the whole world that they're your cousin. Just take pictures with them and post them. And girls seeing that will draw other females in, because now they're curious about you. Like, oh, I see he's hanging out with a lot of women. Like, is he seeing anyone? Like, I saw him with this girl this week, then that girl next week. Like, is he a play? Like, it brings curiosity out of
Hmm.
women. And when
It
a woman
also
is
brings
curious,
jealousy, brings
well,
hurt,
jealousy is
pain,
is is down the line when she's like a little
emotionally
emotional.
involved.
Yeah. In the beginning, it's curiosity. Like if she sees that you get bitches, she's gonna say, "Oh, what is it about him that makes a woman drawn to him?"
Hmm.
They want to know what it is that you got. And that's basically when a girl tells you, "Oh, like add me on Instagram." That's all they want to see. They want to see your follower count, and then they want to see who's interacting with you. If they
Okay.
see you interacting with a lot of women who are doing fun things like posting their brunches at Catch
Yeah.
and going to Tao for dinner, they're gonna be like, "Okay, he's pretty lit. Like, let me give him a shot. Let me see what he's about."
Interesting. Interesting. All right. Abu, any final note before we wrap up today's episode?
Oh, that's it. We're done.
Well, we're going to keep it short. Today's the pilot. You know, you want to keep the pilot short and sweet.
I
And
don't. They're gonna have to start paying me, man. I can't just be dropping these jewels for free.
once we give it to the network and they start paying us, yes, 100% for sure.
So we'll circle back.
Yes, 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 yes. And we can also rewatch, revisit, reclaim, and see what we can do better to improve with all that stuff.
Okay, don't be a Roy.
I don't
Don't
know who
fucking
Roy is.
like you don't know you don't
From The
know Succession.
Office? Oh, from
Succession.
Succession. Oh. All right, isn't the season finale just came out 2 days ago?
Yeah, it ended. It's over, and I fucking hated it.
All right, don't,
They,
don't, no spoilers, no spoilers, okay?
why no, no
We don't know,
spoilers?
exactly, no
Wait,
spoilers.
what season? Are you on the final season?
I'm more waiting for Ted Lasso's final episode, which I think comes out today. Today's Wednesday, right?
Oh, it came out already.
It's
This
already out.
series is over.
See, my point exactly. So I'm more waiting for to watch that than
But have
Succession.
you started yet, or have
I
you not
have not
started
started Succession at all.
at all?
At
Oh,
all.
so you can't remember half the shit I tell you.
Yeah,
So
no,
we get
I wouldn't even know whose name or anything like that. Okay. All right.
we'll
So
see.
once again, Abu, thanks so much for coming out. Thank you for hanging out with us. Chat, if you have any questions, feel free to ask now. Thank everyone that was watching. Thank everyone that showed
I'm
up.
surprised there weren't any questions.
It's episode 1, Abu. It's the pilot. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just give it a couple more seasons, okay, until things starts flowing. All right, we're gonna be here for hours, man. All right, just we'll keep it short, sweet, to the point. and we still have so many more topics to go through as well too. So we'll save that for the next episode.
Understood. Understood.
Any final notes, any final advices you want to give on any of the topics that we've talked about?
Yeah, men, just be yourself.
Ew,
Focus on
what?
yourself. Focus on yourself.
Be yourself.
Build
Oh,
yourself
God.
up. Build yourself up. Build up your fucking self-esteem. I don't know what your viewer demographic is, but younger men just have more confidence. You can gain more
How?
confidence. You can you can gain more confidence by going to the gym, by working out, by putting yourself in a position to become successful. Earning money, especially when you earn money at a young age, that'll definitely boost up your confidence because money is access. So focus on yourself. Don't focus on women. Build yourself up. Um, groom yourself. That's very important because I don't think anyone's inherently ugly. If you groom yourself and you take care of yourself, that will naturally attract women. And if you are on your path, on your purpose, uh, trying to become successful, that'll draw people in. If your focus is always on yourself, you are going to attract positive energy and positive people to your life. If your energy and focus is directed towards chasing women and being with women, you're always going to be chasing and you're never going to amount to anything. So focus on yourself, gentlemen, please.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Once again, Abu, thank you so much for coming out. I appreciate it, guys. Hopefully,
Bye.
this was very helpful and educational. Yes. And thank you, my brother. Have a good night. We'll talk again soon, okay?
No doubt, my guy.
Okay.
One love.
Chat.
Bye, guys.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. If you smell, well, the rock is cooking. But I don't go by the rock anymore. I need a new clothing line. God damn it, Abu. I need a new one. If you smell what Creg is cooking. No. That's Dwayne Johnson. I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. All right. Abu, thank you so much. Cheers, mate. Take care.
Bye.
All right. Where am I? There we go. Oops.